conversational purposes.
Will do.
Yeah. Is my screen up now?
We can see your screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because this was my notes on Sam's talk, and it's interesting. Let's see, it's interesting to go. Well, anyway, let me go and just follow my script. But one of the things is that my last comment on the talk was there's so much in others' minds, but not in mine. Anyway, yeah, okay. Getting down to my script, one of the things, and let me go and hit it. Oh, I got shift. I got to go and shift goes and need to go and change that behavior a little. But anyway, let me turn on my clock. An object in CoSy, and one of the things is I've had the discussion with Alan Kay that the thing that objects lack is essentially the sequentiality, the linear sequence of things, and so the header for a tree, a list of lists, in CoSy is essentially 3-item or 3-cell, in the simplest case, the type, which then says what the whole vocabulary is that applies to it, then how many of those there are, and then how is the thing referenced. The reference count starts at 0, and then it's whenever something references it until that gets reduced. This actually follows very much from Arthur Whitney's. And let me get down here. Oh, 2 women have gone and posted. I wanted to go to the other window. But Notion, and posted a very interesting link to, let me go and, I didn't want to do that. Anyway, Notion is very interesting links to same sort of, these women use Notion as their interface to the computer. And Notion, essentially, very interesting YouTube that's linked on various places, but it evolves from a SmallTalk foundation. So it's that sort of object level foundation. But as I say, I've had the discussion with, I probably have it. Evolves. Well, there's a link to Notion. Do I have a link to, I thought I had a link to my discussions with, anyway, search CoSy for Alan Kay. But again, it's this thing of the sequentiality, the intrinsic, here, you're asking for an address space, okay? And most fundamental word, one of the most fundamental words from APL, which seems so strange to me, is iota, which goes and gives you an index into that address space. So it's that sequential, it's just everything else is built. It's lists of lists. Or I've been getting down to these exponential impact, XI, actually getting down to talk to humans down in the Springs. And no, that's a talk itself. But here, to me, most fundamental thing when I learned of the existence of fourth is that you still have to write small talk in something. Where with fourth, you have a minimal vocabulary to construct in whatever other language it is. And it just seems astounding to me that you write fourth in PHP. But again, it's you know, I was totally interested in talking to the silicon as directly as possible, coming from the you know, implementing that math in the shortest possible path. And it is interesting that both Brad and I implemented this. Oops, I want to hit F8. Acronym from Alan Perlis, which is at the top. I've got a bunch of things at the top of my CoSy page on a lot of it, most of them on well, like from Chuck Moore is I've gone to some lengths to simplify. And to me, that is one of the world's greatest understatements. I mean, but the same is true in some ways, at least in early Iverson. I mean, the fundamental thing of simplifying and generalizing array mathematics, the array shoebox arrays. By the way, ever hear of an Euler brick? It's a Pythagorean triple, and if you go to Techie you'll see I've done the Pythagorean triples up to a length of 5,000 on there in Techie. In any case, oh yeah, both Brad and I mentioned Perlis, but a corollary, which I've recently come up to and so forth, when you go and you see the proliferation of languages, and also the thing about Notion, which has got it's got an income of 400 million this year. And the woman that I learned of this from, and links to an interview with the founder of it, Ivan. It's an Asian last name, I think. Anyway, very interesting. And again, you're looking at something that's built on SmallTalk. In any case, yeah, they got 400 million revenues this year, and this woman pays $100 a year for a license. So that gives you the competition. And my original note that was, you know, for this talk was you could write Notion in CoSy, but you couldn't write CoSy in Notion. Because CoSy is the extreme simplicity that fourth allows, where I can say this is the first three cells, and oh yeah, this was one of the points that definitely want to get to Ken Thompson, but let me F6 this. Here are the definitions of at the fourth level, I mean at the CoSy level. These are definitions, and you'll see actually they call the assembly language the F86 x86 level, and essentially this says do it on each item in the list. you have dyadically. This is the D is you got two lists, and you're doing it. Actually, this guy at down in the Springs at XI talked in terms of trees, and so essentially nouns are trees, and a lot of the verbs apply to the leaves of trees or the corresponding leaves of two trees, or well, you look at iterators. I've got a link there, I think, probably in the script here. But in any case, then this is the x86 level. And so, yeah, I'm looking at the definitions of that. So here's the definition at the x86 level, and you'll see, it's in fourth, but the thing is, it's just essentially inserting but this is not, this is part of Riva fourth, and anybody's fourth is going to have something, a vocabulary that's got to be similar to yeah, you all know that better than I do. But then, the thing is actually, and this is one of the things that I made me choose. Yeah, getting on should get. And by the way, this nub, there are no duplicates in the list here. Oh, that's the definitions at the CoSy level of these. But I wanted to get to. Jesus, it should have eliminated that. All the capital. Yeah, they're just down at the bottom. Got the file ins and outs. This is, and as a matter of fact, well, yeah, this is with duplicates eliminated. F dash writes to a file, and the definition of this is it just turns that into a CoSy list. So that's your IO it's, well, you can look at this, but one of the things is that the capital F's are different than the lowercase f's. Anyway, and then there is at the Riva level, there is a system of context, but I mean, CoSy's, going all the way. CoSy is a big language of 20 over 2,400 words now, but the entire set of scripts is only about 10K lines. Anyway, getting down to Ken Thompson, got mentioned. Where the hell do I have that? Oh yeah. Speaking of fourth day, and actually what I was thinking of as a title is just a annual report, a CoSy annual report. Yeah, anyway, let me F8 that because I got that sitting here. Must mean something. Oh, yeah, one of the things is Grok's CoSy, and yeah, here's what Grok has to say about CoSy. Anyway, you can do that yourself, but it is interesting. I'm very impressed by Grok also understanding the most fundamental aspects of temperature physics. And here on Facebook, I commented on a post about Ken Thompson. I guess I posted, and I had a chat with Ken Thompson at the Bean Scene in Sunnyvale when I was out at fourth day at Stanford a decade ago. And here are my CoSy notes from that day. And if there's anything that's an essence of the purpose of CoSy is that on the mention of Ken, I could pull up my notes from the day. I'm going back to my notes, and I mean, here it is. But I was staying out at the place that my niece was living at in Sunnyvale, but she didn't have Wi-Fi for some reason. So I was hanging out. Hung out at the Bean Scene there in Sunnyvale. I imagine most of you know it, but I mean, in a sense, it's so damned um, stereotypical of Silicon Valley, a coffee house running in conversation. But I got introduced to, and here my my accounting entry, obviously. But oh, and actually, I got together with Curtis Jones, who's there runs the Silicon or the Valley. He's down in more Santa, whatever. But he runs the APL bug group, Bay users group, and kind of cross posts this also Santa Clara. Anyway, got together with him and they had a lunch they did at the university at that time. Um, but then was with, oh, what the hell, I don't know, Stacy, blah 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 blah. Oh, anyway, here at about 3:17, I was introduced to Ken Thompson, and we had and I made a note. He was 73 at the time, and I just made a note. Well, these are my notes. Um, and one of the things is, and then later talked. Yeah, these are my notes that I've added. You know that he was really impressed with grep, um, and I, the thing is, I have a vocabulary of boy, I don't know, probably 100 variants and things to go and do things. Uh, grep is actually, there is a grep in the library in the Riva fourth, but the thing is, I just find that con, which just returns, lines, lists containing something, leaves contain branches containing something. And anyway, one of the things though, we got into this discussion. Yeah, and I made this note, that it's the fourth factor's even the act of compiling. We discussed reference counted memory management, which CoSy uses, evolved directly from conversations with Arthur Whitney and his use in K. You can see kx.com, and now they've got a KXAI, I guess. But big data is. Thompson said it was old fashioned, and I wished Arthur had been there to respond. In any case, it is hard to argue with KX's speed on big data, in which they are globally competitive. And in any case, I mean, the structure of one of the most fundamental, the fundamental horizon, but again, it's open code in CoSy, is between the fixed address space of a fourth dictionary and essentially an address space of allocated address spaces. So that's why you have this reference counting system, which again, Arthur gave a talk at Union Bank of Switzerland where he talked about the fact that he never moved anything in memory. And no garbage collection, and what he has is an index of 2 to the nth length slots and greater than some number. And so you just look in this inventory for the first empty slot. And when the reference count returns to zero, you free that slot. I actually, when the reference count returns to zero, I just hand it off to the operating system, to Windows. And I'm just astounded by how fast it is in any case. But again, that's one of the things why current CoSy is just simply no competition for KX speed on large scale data. But in any case, interesting that Ken Thompson came up. And actually, one of the things is, I mean, it's clear why it would just be so great to have the interface and standard browser interface and so forth. Skip comments, Techie Dome. I showed the thing, and I guess the Grok, Grok's CoSy, and Grok, going from a decade ago, and this is interesting. This is the lines in my my own CoSy directory or gotta. These are every year I clone off a text. This is how I found, here are my lines to find Ken Thompson, and to go and what does this line do? Oh, okay. This line goes and reads them all, and here's the number of bytes in each. Yeah, okay. These are okay. This is looking for, this is why, I don't use regular expressions. This is just at this point, and this is one of those great aspects of that I don't want to do that. I don't want to split up. Oh, very complicated. This is in any case. Yeah, I got down here, and okay, here's where it found Ken, and of those it found Thompson. And well, I should split it here. I mean, it's fourth. It's this and here the Ken this string here, and tick returns name string anyway. There's the code to go and find him in all those I don't know all those years.
Bob, it's time to wrap it up.
Oh, okay. Blah blah. Need a 2 minute bell or something.
That was it. That was the 2-minute bell.
Okay. Yeah, one of the things is, well, all of these I'll be uploading soon, but one of the real points that is quite important is that here in one page are all the rules of CoSy, if you will. And finally, these are the 1980s when the CoSy was bundled on KPro 2000s. But at that time, the woman who was the interface to the world was Linda Mottler, and in a sense, she's the ultimate target market. If she could use CoSy, anybody can use CoSy. I shouldn't say that. Anybody who's got that style can use CoSy. So it's who's going to be the next? And I will asterisk F11 and I'm off.
Thank you, Bob. I just wanted to mention that, sorry, we're going a little over time. I just wanted to mention that I'm hoping to meet in person on fourth day at Stanford University. If you are planning to be there for that, please drop me an email. Now's a good time. The point is that Dave would like a head count. And if you're planning on presenting, the sooner you let me know, the better off I'll feel about it. Thank you. So Joseph O'Connor gave me an indication that he was going to present. Bob Armstrong is going to give his annual report. Brad has kindly consented. Chuck Moore, I asked him if he wants to do pretty much like last year, where he gives short introductory remarks and then maybe a little Q&A. So if you have something to say to Chuck, keep that in mind. Zoom or so he'll be zooming in. He had a very fourth-like response to my inquiry. He just sent okay. I enjoyed that so much. So we're going to pull a plug on the recorder now, Brad.